So when we finally did decide we wanted to do this, I didn't think we'd have 6 kids. Mm-hmm. I really didn't. Like, I don't know if you thought so.
Who has 6 kids?
Neither one of us
Let alone us.
Well, neither one of us come from that size family. I mean, there was 4 of you guys, and there was only my brother and I. So 2, maybe 3, max, I would have thought. But when we started with the twins, they changed our lives. They opened up a part of our heart that we didn't even know was there. And they forever changed us. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our 6 happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Good morning, honey.
Good morning.
You look beautiful today.
Oh, I'll take that. Appreciate that. Kind words.
Yeah. So should we continue our series?
I think we should. We really got into it last time. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
So it was last 3 were a lot of reasons why I feel so strongly about doing this podcast and serving people through it. But what about you?
Gosh, it's been a while since we've discussed it from each of our perspectives. Mm-hmm. Last time I think we did this was when we started this podcast a handful of years ago.
Yeah.
And our why behind it hasn't really changed, I think a lot of it came from, again, a pain point of not knowing how to do it myself. I didn't know how to, parent. I didn't know how to do the day-to-day motherhood things. I kind of was confused on what worked for us. I read a bunch of books, didn't know how to apply it all. And so here we were, you were like, maybe we should start this so that it's a journey for our kids so they understand a little bit, how to actually run a performing family, mm-hmm. I guess you could say, right? Mm-hmm. And we understand what it feels like to kind of be a little confused on where to go, who to listen to, or where to get some information from.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's so funny to think back that there was a time when we didn't even think we were going to have kids, like ever. And a lot of that came from the fear of not knowing how to parent or just not having any confidence in how we parent. I really didn't want to put kids through an upbringing like I had. And so it was tricky because, we didn't have this perspective, or we didn't have something necessarily modeled for us in a way that we would have wanted to do it. So I tell people all the time, it's one thing to have a desire to want to do something. It's another thing to not ever have it modeled for you, because then it creates like an ambitious person with lack of confidence, right?
Correct.
And so at one point, though, I think we got around enough people that then gave us a vision of that it could be healthy. Mm-hmm. And so then we just decided, let's start this journey. And then, of course, next thing you know, we have 5 kids, 4 and under, because we redirected our ambition. Let's just.
Once we got motivated, we were motivated.
Yeah, that's pretty much it too. Yeah.
Which is true. So I think for me, when I first thought about helping other families, it came down to a family atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Teaching people how to have a family atmosphere that they could be proud of. Mm-hmm. Where kids felt safe in, where parents felt they were leading and they felt heard, and that there was a unity.
Sure.
That's how it kind of started off for me. Really in more of a communicating way in our household versus a reacting way. I know I've mentioned it before, but obviously parenting is a journey, and you don't ever arrive.
Oh man, is that the truth?
You never arrive. And, to think now we've been parenting for 17 years. Mm-hmm. I've been a mom. So the twins are 17. Obviously I was a mom when they were even just developing in me. And so over 18 years at this point.
And that doesn't even count the parenting you had to do with me the first few years.
I know. I'm still working on that.
That one's even trickier.
Well, yeah. That's been the most tricky is learning how to, grow up together,
Right.
like, but I will just tell you, like, I think for me, I kind of grew up and reacted to things. I don't remember like an understanding of why we had to do what we had to do all the time. There wasn't a lot of communication. I think my parents did the best they could, just like yours did, with the information they had.
Yeah.
And it wasn't from lack of trying. It was just like, I'm a strong personality. I'm a big personality. And I don't think I was always understood how to be like, I don't think my parents understood how to parent me all the time. And I didn't know or understand how to be parented or why.
I mean, it's a real thing, and it's a God-given gifting, that you have the personality type that you have, which is a leader, right? And so that personality comes out when you're small. It comes out when you're little, and you are just being you. But as we have learned, right, that when you have a strong-willed child, the last thing you want to do is try to put them in a box and make them be not a strong-willed child, because then it just creates more rebellion and more resistance, and it just goes against who you are. And I just think that our parents' generation, at least most people I know that are the generation of our parents, they weren't really taught things like strengths of kids and love languages and personality types and how to actually develop them and work with them and just direct them in the right direction. So it was just like, if you were a real popular sanguine kid, then you just seemed like a troublemaker because you
didn't listen.
Yeah.
You were all over the map.
Yep.
You kind of, maybe even for some parents, it was like control them even more and don't let them be sanguine because they didn't even know how to react to it.
Right. You're embarrassing the family, so we need to chill you out.
Right.
We need to put you over here. Eventually they started doing, we need to drug you, right? To make you,
Unfortunately so.
things like that. If you're a really like kind of chill kind of a kid, naturally a peaceful, phlegmatic personality, I think then it's like, why is my kid so lazy? Right. We gotta beat you into working harder, or if it was you're a powerful cleric, which is, your main personality type, then it's like, well, this person's bossy. This person's harsh. This person's too much. They're rebellious, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just don't think our parents understood it. And then also the other part of that generation of how we were raised was, I feel like a lot of our parents' generation, they just, I don't know, they were kind of taught to not necessarily really talk about things,
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think some of it is like, so then if your parents have certain personalities,
yeah,
then they actually don't understand you even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if your personalities don't mesh,
Sure.
if that makes sense. Like I think about like your mom and my mom, and they're peaceful phlegmatics.
Yeah.
So like a large personality like yours and mine, to them was a little like, whoa, what's happening? Can't you just be chill? Why do you have to lead so much? Why do you have to have a opinion about everything? Why do you want to go do so much? Why do you want to be a go-getter? Why can't we just chill?
I don't know if your mom's a peaceful phlegmatic. I bet we can debate that one.
She is.
She has her moments where she earned the nickname the Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she does that right there with her hands, though. And she does that like you just had, where she's trying to not let it out.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, you're right. You grew up with being misunderstood was the point.
Yeah. So I think, that was probably one of the fear factors of me becoming a mom, is not being able to understand my kids, and then still needing to parent them, recognizing that I'm a strong personality and a strong person. All that combined, I didn't know how it would play out. Do you know what I mean? And maybe some people can relate to it. I've always loved children. It was never a thing that I didn't love children. I wouldn't say like I was naturally the person that was like, I want to go babysit everybody's kid in the neighborhood. I was the responsible babysitter. You know what I mean? Most parents that hired me to babysit, they were like, okay, she might not be the funnest coming up with the most creative, fun one, but I know our kids will be safe. They will be in bed. Rules will be followed.
Yeah.
We will come home with the house cleaned up. So it all depended on what they wanted for the night.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And because of that, I think I just...
Well, the kids probably wanted the
fun,
person,
for sure.
But the parents want you. because
Correct.
they want to
But
come
it all
back.
depended on who won sometimes. Some parents were like,
Yeah.
no, this is the safe babysitter. And fine, our kids really wanted the fun one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jackie. So that all would just play in. So fast forward when we finally came to the decision that I actually think we will have children, and it took us a while. Greg had to work on himself quite a bit to get to that place. I had to work on myself quite a bit. I don't think we were old by any means, but like I didn't even get pregnant with the twins till I was 29. So that was like you were like 33 or whatever at the time. So we didn't do it right away when we got married. We were married for 5 years together. And we just had a lot of growing and changing and building businesses and doing other things for a season. So when we finally did decide we wanted to do this, I didn't think we'd have 6 kids. I really didn't. Like, I don't know if you thought so.
Who has 6 kids?
Neither one of us
Let alone
come.
us.
Well, neither one of us come from that size family. I mean, there was 4 of you guys, and there was only my brother and I. So 2, maybe 3, max, I would have thought. But when we started with the twins, they changed our lives. They opened up a part of our heart that we didn't even know was there. And they forever changed us. And then when we obviously then got pregnant with Chrissy, I mean, it was just like, I think God does it. I'm sure he does it to guys too. But when you go through pregnancy, and my pregnancies were pretty difficult. I was very sick, just with pregnancy, not because of a flu bug or something. I was actually sick because I was pregnant, which come find out all our babies came out healthy. So that it is what it is. But I was very, very sick. And then, the twins ended up in the NICU for a season because they came so early. So all that combined, to add more children was, going to be taxing.
Yeah.
But I swear God put something in our brain that as soon as you have a kid, you forget the delivery, you forget all
pain,
the sickness,
the 9 months of the
like,
pain.
the growing through it all. You're just like, let's do it again. Like he clicked something off in a woman, I think, because we're the one that physically has to go through it all again. And so that's what happened, But with that, I think my heart always was, I want to help other moms be able to feel confident walking through the seasons of motherhood. I want husbands and wives to feel connected. I don't think we always did at the beginning of our parenting. I think, the first 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it was, even first 10 years, whatever, we didn't have like kind of a system that worked for us. We didn't understand each other. You know what I mean? We didn't understand how to parent. We didn't know how to work together. We thought we were doing good, but we didn't apply anything that we teach today.
Yeah, I mean, we were being baptized by fire for sure. I mean, we I don't know. You and I, we've done a lot of things in our life where we're like, okay, let's create the challenge and then let's go figure the challenge
100%.
out later. And
sometimes that works and sometimes it does not work.
yeah, sometimes it creates some pain.
A new challenge is what it causes.
And you're right, though. I mean, we probably one of our biggest parenting struggles early on was just how when we were trying to learn how to parent, it was heavy and it was, on the job training 24/7. And we weren't really equipped for how you and I stay connected while we're learning how to parent.
Right.
And then it just almost kept kind of getting worse. It kept because the kids needed more, or we kept adding more kids or whatever. And so, well, you and I both, we don't like not being good at anything. And so we will put ourselves more into things we're good at. And we were getting better at being parents than we probably were at being married.
That's 100% true.
And so then our energy went more and more there to an even unhealthier state. And so if there's any parents out there that are kind of dealing with that, I mean, you should reach out to us about this. Just, I don't know, somehow connect to us through a direct message or comment, because, this has been a big part of our journey was trying to do something well, which eventually almost hurt you and I being married well, you know? And then we had to retool all that, and and we had to put the same kind of energy and focus towards that, and it is a journey, and it is a balance for all this stuff, because you do. I mean, in our life, I feel like we've had to put on different hats multiple times per day. It's like a hat for this one kid, and then this other kid, and then it's between you and me, and then it's this business thing over here, and whatever. And it's a lot, and you gotta systemize it, and you gotta have the right philosophy, and you got to have the right desire, and you gotta have a level of balance between all the different categories. Otherwise some can get so off. I remember hearing, or maybe I read it, I don't remember. I learned a lot of stuff over the years, but I remember somebody saying that, you have all of these different balls in your life that you're juggling, and some are made of rubber and some are made of glass. And he said, you have to know the difference, because if you don't know the difference, there's some that if you drop those balls, they break and they don't mend, and one of them is your marriage, and I was like, that's a really good point, because I can't think of a single business that I would work on that if I dropped the ball in it, I couldn't somehow get it to bounce back. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it doesn't happen between couples. If it gets too far gone, then that shatters, and then you don't get to put the pieces back together.
Right.
So
that's good.
Anyways, we can continue on this in the next episode. We're already out of time on this one.
Okay.
But I do want to hear a little bit more about some specific reasons why you want to do this podcast, for the audience. Okay.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.